Alright, so we're going to look at the Lab 4 data entry and how we go about doing that. So this is the assignments list from Chem21 Labs. And if I scroll down here, I can get to Lab 4, identification of an unknown liquid. If I click on that, I come to this page, and you'll notice, first of all, it has some information, and then over here it gives some blanks where you can enter in data that you collected from lab. All right, so the first one here, if you can read that, it says the freezing point of water recorded on your thermometer, and then the boiling point of water. So this is for the calibration part there. So you'll put in some data there. Let's say we measured 1.1 degrees. Now we're only writing the numbers in here. The actual units are included over there in the question. Okay. So a boiling point, let's say we measured 99.3. All right, so this is data that we would have collected from the lab. I'm just kind of making up numbers here. But, all right, so here we have now the liquid unknown number. That's just a number identifying the liquid unknown. And then the mass of the micropycnometer and the mass of the micropycnometer plus the unknown liquid. All right, so a couple of masses and our unknown number. I'll just make up a number there. And the mass of the pycnometer, let's say it came out to 1.4083. Okay. And for the pycnometer plus the unknown liquid, we'll say that came to 2.0965. Okay, so again, just putting in some data. This would be stuff that you collect from lab. Okay, mass of the pycnometer plus the water. You'll notice there's some here that say enter later. There's other questions in there, but we're going to come back and do those afterward. First, we're just putting in the raw data. Okay, so these are just some numbers that I'm making up. Okay, and finally we have the observed boiling point for the unknown liquid. Let's say it came to 59.5 degrees. Okay, so the rest of this is just the table here that we'll use, some other enter later stuff. And then all the way down at the bottom, you'll notice there is a button there that says continue. So if we go and we click on that button, now it brings us back to the top, and what we need to do is now verify our data. Okay, so we look at this, we say okay, that all looks good, and then you want to make sure there's no errors in this, because if you go down here, because what we have to do is confirm everything. Okay, you'll notice over here it has a button to either confirm this data, or if I found a problem, I can re-enter the data. But once I click confirm, then the instructor, that's me, has to go back, and if there's a problem, I have to go back and clear it out. So it's just extra time and hassle. So you want to make sure that all of your data is correct before you click that confirm. Okay? So now we go back and we've confirmed that data, and we look here, and you'll notice now it's opened up a field for us to enter some of those ones that say enter later. Okay? Now these it does one at a time. All the other ones they're not showing yet. But here I have a box, and then the tolerances, don't worry about that, but then there's the submit once I get the number. Okay? So here, this is the slope of my calibration curve. So once you do the Excel graph using that data that that I just put in, you can do that and put in the slope that you get from there. And I have a video already posted on how to do trend lines in Excel, and that will help for generating that calibration curve as well. Alright, so and you'll notice there is some instruction here on how to go about doing that in Excel as well. And then down here it says to report the number as it appears in Excel, do not round. Okay, so what I have when I did this in Excel is 1.0183. That's my equation there, y equals mx, that's the slope. So that's what I'm going to put in there, plus b. Alright, so 1.0183. And when I click submit, it tells me over in the corner up here, calculation correct. Okay, that's what you want to see. All right, so if you follow those directions, you shouldn't have any problems there with that. Okay, so then you can click there for the next problem, and it scrolls down to the next place, and now you can go on to the next problem. Okay, so you kind of just go on through each problem by problem until you get through to the end, and so that's pretty much all there is to it. I'm not going to take the time to go through all of these, but each one of those boxes is a separate calculation, which may be more or less involved. You know, just finding the volume of the micropycnometer, the density of the unknown. They're not terribly difficult calculations, and we can go over those in we'll go over those in lab to help with that as well. So hopefully this has been helpful in how to enter the data into the lab sheet. Okay, I just wanted to point out one other thing. For this, I've skipped ahead a little bit, and here I'm at the density of the unknown liquid, and I'm putting this in based on the data that I calculated there. But this tolerance, what it tells you is how many significant figures, essentially. So if you just hover over that, it says plus or minus 1 on the in the third significant figure. Okay, so what that means is I want 3 significant figures, and it'll give me a little bit of wiggle room. So if the right answer is actually 0.762, then it'll still take that because it's plus or minus 1 in that third significant figure. All right, and then it just tells me I need 3 significant figures when I do that. Okay, so that's kind of how that goes there, and you see I got that right. Okay, and when you are finally done with the exercise, which doesn't take too long, if you know what you're doing, you'll see this statement here that the online lab submission is complete. And that's what you're looking for.